Доброго дня усім гостям.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, dear guests. Now we are having presentation of the Ukrainian ID International Economic and Humanitarian Forum. We have Ms. Natalia Zabolotna, President of the Foundation, His Excellency Mr. Vashchuk, Ambassador of Canada to Ukraine, Hennadiy Chyzhykov, President of the Chamber of Commerce in Ukraine, Olena Bekreniova, head of the Bohdan Havrylyshyn Family Foundation, Mr. Morgan Williams, President of the US-Ukraine Business Council, member of the Atlantic Council, Ms. Larysa Mudrak, President of Win Communications, Mr. Balayan, Film Director, and Mr. Kadie Ward, Developer, Consultant, and Chairman of the NGO Build Strong Cities. Good afternoon, dear Excellency. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to mass media for your attention to our event and to the announcement which we intend to do today. So the first question may be, why Kaniv? A year ago, we announced about social network SAS the Future, and we encouraged Ukrainians to make pictures against objects which raise concerns in the way that they may disappear, either against vulnerable objects, either ruining or environmentally threatened, etc. And as of today, we have received more than 1,000 such pictures and such requests from people to save those natural and artistic objects. And we all understand that the state is approaching to a default, and in this situation we should do something. Among other pictures, we had seen this picture. There's a sports school for teenagers, for kids, which is called Sparta. The Sparta sports school is located in the ground floor of multi-storied building, and when they wrote a message to us, they had no complaints actually, but they wanted to get access to a big sports ground to demonstrate their sports achievements, and they mentioned that they already have some achievements, but they work hard in order to become champions. And we decided to visit Kaniv. We tried to assist these children, and jointly with the Cherkasy regional mayor and together with the Chyzhykov brothers, we organized the champions tournament in the city, and the city became famous for its sports events, and today there are a lot of fans willing to attend Kaniv. Then in Kaniv we discovered the music school, which has more than 350 students. Again, those students of musical school, they are very much devoted to music. Again, musical school is hosted in a building which is the old synagogue building, in a very bad condition, because after the synagogue there was KGB building, and later it was given to a musical school. So we found out that in Kaniv many social facilities for children are in a situation typical for Ukraine, very old, very obsolete infrastructure. For us it looked like a symbol of the entire Ukraine, due to a famous Ukrainian poet Taras Shevchenko memorial in Kaniv. Kaniv has very good infrastructure today. It has the helicopter landing ground. It has a big river port. It has very good bus station, and it has a cultural center building with half-finished construction. And having all this in place, more than 9,000 children of Kaniv willing to realize the potential, willing to implement the opportunities, they are unable to do this. So thus, in the result of that visit, we understood that Kaniv has a mission, and it can have very important meaning. Kaniv can become a strong platform and an object of international cooperation. It can become a site, a venue where international forum, international cultural and economic forum could be hosted. Kaniv is well known among Ukrainian diaspora around the world and thus we can have a very important event in Kaniv, and it can become a successful destination for cultural pilgrims, so to say. And it could become a venue for formation of new paradigm for Ukraine. That's why we decided to make a suggestion to local authorities, to international community, to diplomatic corps, to launch implementation of a big dream in this place. We believe that Ukraine can become the place of the place for economic and humanitarian forum, Ukrainian ID. Today I would like to sign a memorandum of understanding between Humanitarian Development Foundation of Ukraine, Kaniv City Administration, Ukrainian Chamber of Commerce, represented by Mr. Hennadiy Chyzhykov, who supported the initiative to have this international forum. It was Hennadiy Chyzhykov who suggested to call this forum Ukrainian ID. We believe that this very place, this very destination could be could be named sacred destination for Ukrainian people. With this, I would like to give the floor to the Kaniv mayor, Mr. Renkas.
Thank you. We have a powerful team who think alike. They will work for the city, and I believe that everything will be great. And I would like to thank Natalia and the Foundation of Humanitarian Development of Ukraine for the attention to our city. This is a unique, wonderful city. We have a wonderful landscape, and together with you, I believe we will be able to do something for this wonderful city. So we are ready to work with you daily. You're welcome. And we are open for you. We have a powerful team of people who are really care about the city, who really work in the city and are going to work further for Kaniv city. Thank you, everyone. So let's sign the memorandum. So I would like to give the floor to Gennadiy Chyzhykov. I would like to ask him to sign this document. And we have a high guest, and this is Vashchuk, Ambassador, Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Canada to Ukraine. He really contribute to our country, and he is the great representative of Ukrainian diaspora.
Thank you, Natalia. I would like to mention two important things about this very ambitious project. The one thing is that we should stir up a dialogue and attract attention to the center of Ukraine. We speak much about the east of Ukraine, we speak much about the west of Ukraine, but we do not mention so much the central Ukraine, which is the heart of Ukraine, Kaniv, Poltava, and other central Ukrainian regions. They are well motivated, they are interesting from cultural and economic point of view. And the second thing which I would like to mention in this context, there's the issue of developed Ukraine. I mean that the objects with non-finished construction. We have many objects which are at the final stages of construction which remain unfinished. This year we had a mission reviewing the police services around Ukraine, and we were impressed so much to see female police officers who had all the potential, all the capabilities to become extremely successful as officers. If they are under condition that they are provided with what they need to do this. Likely with this project and that building, that of cultural center, which requires some 10% of its value to finalize construction. And actually, this is a reflection that many objects, many facilities may just need some 10% for finalization, and I believe that it will contribute that to a situation when our communication with younger Ukrainians will involve into this dialogue broader communities. I would thank you, Your Excellency. I believe that our future forum won't have just a humanitarian nature. Ukraine cannot become a successful country with a successful business without proper development of proper development of human capital. That's why we decided to call our forum Plan for Tomorrow. We want to go beyond the boundaries of Kaniv region and even to go beyond the boundaries of Ukraine. We would like to establish Ukraine, a sort of Ukrainian Davos in a city which is located in the heart of Ukraine. Of course, we all understand that His Excellency has a tough schedule of meetings, and Mr. Vashchuk promised to promote our initiative among G7 countries.
надати перед тим, як провести презентацію.
Also, I would like to give the floor to our strategic partner in the organization of the forum, co-organizer of the forum, president of Chamber of Commerce, Hennadiy Chyzhykov. Thank you, Natalia. I would like to greet everyone, and I would like to say that there were a lot of questions to me as the president of the Chamber of Commerce and humanitarian issues and Kaniv and why we are involved in this and what is the difference in our country. Each month, even every week, we have big forums. We can be champions in forums. And what is the difference? Let's look what is this difference. So concerning the economy, in each oblast we have investment forums. If there are no investment forums, they say that work is not good. And if they have these forums, they say, what are they doing? So what about investment? Why we don't have these investments? So we should ask this question. And we as businessmen, we understand that everything depends not only on economy, the country should be normal, we may say so. When guests come, they should see theaters that develop. We have society, civil society, that think about its place and so on and so forth. And the role of the Chamber of Commerce is not only to support business, but also in a broader sense to help society, help the regions, and to start the important dialogue. No one will do it for us, except we should do it. And this is an important historic place for us. Kaniv city, we should show that the country develops not only in the capital, not only from the capital, but even not from the regional center. And we should provide the opportunity to every region to hear the business people, businessmen who are involved in humanitarian issues, and we should start a dialogue what should be done by each of us to develop our country, to develop each region. And when we communicate it, we say that it should be called Ukrainian ID, so the international dialogue, inter-regional dialogue, and internal dialogue. Everything should be included. This is the dialogue that will make us more powerful. And I believe that many countries, our neighbors, they went through this stage, the forums in Krynica, and we should start not only economic and investment forums. We should start also other forums in other important small towns and cities to draw attention to complex and balanced dialogue in society. That's why for us this is a very important issue. And I believe that this will provide, that is important for us, it will show that Ukraine has a business and entrepreneurial spirit, and these are not only bad news, but these are reforms and moving forward, and we should show real new Ukraine, our regions. And I would like to say with great pleasure that not only national but also regional chambers will also support this event. Thank you, Hennadiy. And now I would like to give the floor to the fund of family of Bohdan Havrylyshyn, Yulia. Thank you, Natalia. For me, this invitation to join the organization of the forum is really personal. I represent Foundation of Bohdan Havrylyshyn, who is well known in the world, and he was one of the founders of Davos in Switzerland, and today we're speaking about Ukrainian Davos. For me, Kaniv is a special and personal story because I lived 16 first years of my life in Kaniv, and I said about the music school that at that time was really not in good shape, but it provided good, talented graduates, and I studied in this school. And about all those objects that have appeared recently, but people who travel to Kaniv, they are always impressed by natural beauty of the city. We all read Testament by Shevchenko, and this landscape is really special place for every Ukrainian, and it is created in order to be a pearl in the center of Ukraine. That's why it is necessary to support the development of such cities. And our fund, the foundation of Bohdan and Havrylyshyn, Ukrainian, who started the global initiative, we would like to join this initiative because all these big ideas, they always can be implemented, and Bohdan and Havrylyshyn believed in this, and Ukrainian youth also idealistically believe that Ukraine should be developed, and this professionalism should be used, and it should be directed in the right way. That's why I truly believe in success, and we thank you for this initiative. And on behalf of the family, I express complete support from the foundation and from the participants of the Q program. Youth Changes Ukraine, and we support this. And these are changes in Ukraine. This is a positive case that can be example for other regions, the example of development, a success story that will inspire others. Thank you. I would like, before giving the floor to Balayan and to Larysa Mudrak, I would like to show the plan for the future, the agenda. And I would like you to watch a short presentation and the idea of the forum was developed by young designers, a team of designers, team together, and the panels of this forum will be held during 2 days, and the main day is the 7th of July, and it will be held in on the 5 thematic platforms. First one, economy ID, and we will bring up such an issue as economy on the brink of centuries, what innovative economy is, what the challenges are, and what challenges face the entrepreneurs in this shift to innovations in the markets, and profit is above all, or equality of the new conscience of mega industries and agrarian players, whether the economy should be responsible before the future world, and the important panel, community ID, and the challenges and possibilities of decentralization. And we are going to speak about how to develop new conditions of megapolises and the local communities, and we are going to speak about success, full development in big cities, and we are going to speak about the development of tourism as global priority in big economies, and also we are going to speak about such important topic as human security, ideas, democracy as a factor of human capital increase. And this topic, human capital, will be also discussed in the framework of the economic development of Ukraine and the world. And we are going to speak about human rights, gender equality, and provision of access to personal development and possibility of self-actualization. And this is discussed in all leading countries of the world. And the most interesting topic that was not raised previously at the economic forums, but we are going to speak about it at our forum, and we will provide special attention to this topic is culture idea. This is culture, international dialogue. We are going to speak about the importance of culture. The culture is a component of national security, whether we can decentralize culture, whether we can decentralize burial place of Taras Shevchenko and important monuments of our country, and what should be political role of the state, and also what are the threats of decentralization for the development of national culture, and also about cultural tourism. We know that in the world we have 40% of tourists who are cultural tourists, and how we can reach this and how we can attract tourists from different parts of the world to bring them to Kiev, to Kaniv, and to other regions of Ukraine. The important issue is technology ID. We are going to speak about challenges in labor market and robotics, modern means of work, and we're going to speak about Ukraine, what it should be, the exporter of innovation or exporter of intellectual raw materials. So these are 5 main thematic platforms, and we are going to speak about why Kaniv and how we can get there. And this is an easy way. I believe that this forum, this is a grassroots initiative. This is the initiative of civil society, and this forum will be created in such a cooperation and productive cooperation with local government, local community, and with Ukrainian business, and with the representatives of Canada, US, and European business. We believe that Kaniv, it is really close. Having efficient logistics, having good roads, we all should communicate with local power, with governor of Cherkasska Oblast, and with our ministries, and we should speak that Kaniv has a strategic importance. There should be a proper road there, and it can be done before forum starts, and it will be open in summer. There will be warm period, and we believe that this forum and the next event we will announce now, it will be the start of renovation, Cherkasy, Kaniv, Canada, Kaniv, and we will have great prospects. And as we see this wonderful river station in Kaniv, and we believe that ships will come to this port, and this city, Kaniv, this is a cultural, a spiritual center of our country. It is connected with the main brand of our country, Taras Shevchenko, and 25-30 years ago, there were months when 150,000 people visited the Shevchenko places each month, because there were ships that came to the city, there were routes established, and was proper interstate communication in this, and Kaniv was not only formally on the map of the country. This was a real tourist route. And in Kaniv, there will be international economic humanitarian forum, Ukrainian ID. We propose to create a pilot international festival that will be multicultural. This will be a festival of modern music. I stress this word, modern. And this will be modern literature, theater, cinema. This is the festival that should bring attention to Kaniv and to change the paradigm and the attitude to Kaniv as the city that will be open to tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of young people. That should be a cultural route. and what local tasks we have. So to join the efforts of visionaries, of top managers, and to attract foreign investment and projects and Kaniv. Together we may transform the city in a short time to successful model of decentralization, and also there will be proper conditions for business, and we started to work on special law. Kaniv as a city of big importance, and by this law we want to envisage a special condition for developers, special conditions for the use of lands there, if they want to develop logistics and tourist infrastructure, if they want to build hotels for big number of rooms, and in a dialogue with local power, with the parliament, with deputies who support this. And Kaniv is really important city, and even those deputies who are not from Cherkasshina, and this is not their political district, we understand that by rebranding this city, Kaniv, due to two powerful events, this is International Investment Forum and Economic Humanitarian Forum, at the start of this powerful international festival, we will be able to rebrand Kaniv, to reload the attitude towards the city, and I believe that we will direct these tourist movements there, and people will bring money there, and due to this money, local population will develop and will try to develop their own small business. And the main aim of all of this, we plan for 7th and 8th of July in Kaniv. This is to collect money for the Shevchenkov house, and residents of Kaniv started to dream about this cultural center starting in 1984. But the power changed, and the focus shifted, and the house of Shevchenko was really big. It was planned a big hall, not only for Kaniv, but also maybe for Kaniv. They don't need it for 6,000 meters with the hall that equals to the same as in the opera house. So this should have another load. It should be interested for the country, and I hope that when we collect this money, I believe that our state will also think about it, and they will understand that this house of Shevchenko, this is the object of national importance, and they will join to develop it. So we have a model of development, the Bilbao town, and 20 years ago, the important museum was built there, and it changed the social status of this city. It changed the budget and economic status of the city, and it overcame this depression in the city. Previously, it was industrial center, and there was a high level of unemployment, drug use, alcohol abuse. And when they built this cultural beacon that appeared in the world map, local residents, they didn't have time to think about bad things. They started their work in order to serve to millions of tourists who visit this museum of Bilbao and live there. 170 million euros each year. So we hope that Bilbao can be a model for Kaniv. We have a museum, we have content, this cultural mecca to which people should aspire to come, millions of Ukrainians and tourists from other countries, if we propose comfortable conditions in the town, if there will be a nice place to stay and to visit different cultural objects. And here we show what we can reach due to different waves of changes, and international forum will help us bring it, and the international festival will contribute to this. Will be fast development of infrastructure, and this forum will be attended by the investors from all around the world, the developers, the economists, the banks, and the Ukrainians. And I made conclusion that by speaking for more than half a year with educated Ukrainians who often hold high positions in power, people from 20 to 50 years, 90%, they've never been to Kaniv, and this is not something bad about them. There is nothing bad in this, because maybe there were no right incentives for this. And previously, the whole state apparatus worked for this, and there was such ideological communication. But now we do not have this. And we do not force this on people. We just want to hit this interest towards this, to this cultural drive that we put in the system of coordinates in the city. So we believe that there will be sports bases and cultural centers and hotels and campuses. And we believe that if ships will go along Dnieper River through Kaniv route, this will be wonderful for family and romantic weekends. And we believe that draft law we started to work on will allow to bring to Kaniv, to Kaniv water reservoir, that there will be new businesses, and that this will become new business ecosystem. And lastly, so this is a brand system developed by young designers. And I will say on your behalf that in the center of our branding there is sun with bright beams that symbolizes Ukrainian ID, that we have a balance and multi-vector dialogue and equality. So we hope that everything will be nice and bright, and the images that will be provided, they will show that you have to go to Kaniv to have something new, something modern, and to have new interesting ideas there. So we plan that the infrastructure of Kaniv will change in 2 or 3 years, and this is Shevchenko Cultural Center, and I hope that why we needed the signing of memorandum with the head of Kaniv. We believe that we will be able to hold our forum in this building, a Shevchenko house, and the mayor of Kaniv smiles, and we believe that we will be able to complete this building in the nearest future. And as an informed optimist, I will say that this will be done in the nearest future. So I would like to give the floor to Kadie. She is a citizen of Canada and representative of Ukrainian diaspora, and she is a developer.
I would like to thank you for invitation to this event. I'm very happy to participate in this event and in the future forum. I came to Kyiv because I see many opportunities for development. I see many opportunities among people. I would like to add a couple of words, but I just started to learn Ukrainian, so I will shift to it.
Participate in this forum. I've had the opportunity to work in 12 countries and about 60 different cities around the world, and Ukraine is the first country I left Canada to live in. Because sincerely, I see a lot of opportunity here, as I said, for people and for the development. And what's exciting right now, I work with 16 cities across Ukraine, not Kaniv, not yet, maybe later. Well, this is the first start. And what we see is that this is where the real potential lies, at the local level, and not just for businesses, but for citizens as well. And so a forum like this and events like this help to raise attention of what's happening regionally. Because I see across this country so many assets like you're talking about, not used and not leveraged. And there's so much opportunity. So I really support initiatives like this where people take and invest their passion, their energy, pull together the right stakeholders to bring attention to the potential. And so I'm happy to work with you to leverage, the Canadian diaspora and to leverage different opportunities so that we can bring attention to what's happening at the local level, and hopefully, I have to say this, hopefully that quickens decentralization so we can allow municipalities to strengthen and for private sector to strengthen their investment in the development. So I applaud this effort and I'm happy to support it because it really does demonstrate the future direction of development. So thank you again to be here and look forward to participating.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you very much to all who are supporting us. Larysa has to leave, but she will add a couple of words to our discussion. I would like to thank you. I believe that as of today we have a unique moment for development of local initiatives. We started to speak about them back in 2014, 2015, but today we observe an outburst of energy. This shows that people around Ukraine decided to take responsibility and do something themselves. I believe that Kaniv is the heart of Ukraine, and it has to spread the heartbeat of other regions of Ukraine. During last year, I've been observing huge changes in the region. I'm happy that Kyiv will join this good process. I would like to congratulate Natalia with the SOS the Future project, which united very creative places of Ukraine and creative people. We have already some wins, and we have a lot of objects. We discovered a lot of objects, a lot of assets around Ukraine, which required our assistance, and we managed to do much in Kyiv and Odessa and other regions. And we are happy that these initiatives are becoming part of our life and finally are being implemented. Thank you, Larysa, for your support, for your active participation in our SOS the Future. SOS the Future. Before presenting the pilot, which will be held simultaneously with the forum, like side event, of the Ukrainian ID Forum. We expect to have a lot of investors, people who might be interested to develop Kaniv as a destination, and we would like to present Kaniv to them as a place where we already have some achievements, as an attraction, cultural attraction. We would like to add some cultural senses to this destination. So thus we came to an idea to establish a new local but nevertheless well-known festival devoted to Shevchenko, Taras Shevchenko, which will be called Sheva Festival.
Цей стартап 7 липня, який стартуватиме спільно з
This side project will start on July 7th, and it is called Shevchenko's Era. Shevchenko's Era is a reflection, deals with us because all of us, we are ancestors of Shevchenko. We are heirs of Shevchenko, sorry. The next, this cultural event will encourage people to go to Kaniv and to spend the whole night listening to good music, good literature, meet with interesting people like Oksana Zabushka, like Yuri Andrukhovich, like Monatik, to meet with philosophers, etc. You will have no time for going to bed. You will enjoy it, I think. I hope that at least 10,000 people will come to Kaniv, will share these emotions, and will of course contribute to the local budget. I would like now to give the floor to a person who is rather famous in Ukraine, who contributed very much to our SOS The Future platform. To Mr. Roman Balayan. I'm a little bit envious to this project that I am not a person who invented it, who came up with the idea to have it. I believe that this is the project may attract those people who will be ready to contribute money and support this project. I would like to provide a piece of advice to the project organizers. Working in the movie industry, some 20, 30 years ago, my favorite joke was that we have Cannes movie festival. Why not to have Kaniv movie festival? I believe that we can do the same now. We can now have a Kaniv festival. there is a good formula of money accumulation around churches, around big concert halls. My compatriots, Armenian compatriots, some 8 years ago had put an advertisement in New York where he asked people to donate just $1 for some good business, for some good deal, and he managed to collect $600, and thus this shows how it is easy to convince people to sacrifice just a very small amount of money and thus push forward very good projects. In the previous days, I used to go to Kaniv by boat, and I was very impressed, very much impressed by surrounding landscapes, and later on it was my grandson whom I took together with me into this trip to Kaniv, and he admired landscapes very much. I believe that we should prevent construction of multi-storied building around the Kaniv historical hills. And I believe that the best way to get to Kaniv is to go by boat. I believe that this boat line should be regular. I believe that we should have several boats and even yachts to organize a regular boat line to Kaniv. And later on, when in your cultural center you will have a good screen for movies, I believe that it will be possible to organize the movie festival. So Natalia, I support your idea. Try to engage those oligarchs which we have in Ukraine. I'm so happy that Roman Balayan started to think about practical things. They are important. Our initiative of a festival is not a private initiative. It's not a media initiative to promote some rich person. This is the nationwide initiative. I believe that it will be independent, and it will involve just ordinary businessmen. So Shevchenko's Era Festival will take place at night, late night July 7th up to morning of July 8th. And I promise you that all the income from tickets to this festival also will be used for final construction of this Shevchenko Cultural Center in Kaniv. I encourage everybody to join us. We are open for cooperation. We need your help. I encourage the authorities to join organization of this festival.
фактичну інтелектуальну.
I believe that finally we'll be able to organize very good buffer zone to generate powerful senses and to change a paradigm in attitude to our country. Maybe you have questions.
We have time for several questions. If you would like to ask something, please do. I'm from Kaniv, and I'm glad that we will have this. I've dreamt about it for a long time. Unfortunately, we do not have so much money as they have in Kiev, but I'm glad that we've started it. So the former Minister of Transport, we've attended the meeting with him, and he said that was a meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers in Kaniv, and this initiative you are speaking about is really relevant. And I believe that such proposals, as Natalia contributed, we should go by roads that we have now, and we should go from Kaniv by boats back to Kiev. So we said it. You said it correctly. We are with you. We are your helpers, and I'm really glad that we have such an opportunity. And I believe that this idea of creation of this forum, it will have a historic importance. And also, Yuri Alexandrovich will contribute to this. And I photographed different objects in Kaniv, and before election he came and said, I would like to look at these photos in order to do something with it, and we want to have this meeting in Kaniv. People should see those drawbacks in order to help you to improve situation in Kaniv and to hold this forum in Kaniv. We thank you for this active support, for the active support of the local community, and to Bohdan Havrylyshyn Foundation. We are thankful to the Chamber of Commerce and to the Mayor of Kaniv and to Ms. Kadie, and we are thankful for the support of the embassy. They really respond. This idea for them is a surprise, but they understand that it is time to decentralize big events, and this is a good opportunity for the power to establish cooperation and to asphalt the roads, because on the 7th of there will be a lot of ambassadors who are represented in Ukraine. There will be a lot of business representatives and a lot of other people, and they should get there by road. And we will do a rehearsal in May. There will be a second forum of Ukrainian diaspora, and these businessmen and investors, we want to bring them to Kaniv to have a general rehearsal before the 7th of July. So these are the representatives of business diaspora, and one of the advice, and I said it to Natalia recently, before they built these hotels there, 100 years will pass. And there are abandoned ships, cutters, at the coastline, and it won't cost a lot. Pierre Richard lives in the center of Paris on an old barge. This is a big ship, and it is well equipped, and you should not pay for land. So this is on water. So this is an important moment. So we are searching, we are looking for such ships. If we find them, this festival can last 2 or more days. So and a separate ship for Roman Balayan. And about jokes, My friends phoned me recently and they said, where are you going? And I said, to Kaniv. And they said, to Cannes? No, we are going to Kaniv in order to create Cannes there.
Спрошу свой классический вопрос про бабло.
So now about the money. Natalia, what budget is needed for such a festival? So what are your calculations and practical advice? There are many cottage houses, there are many dachas of our famous painters. And do you know something about Ukrainian Hollywood, this place near Kaniv, where Davzhenka shot his films? Are they going to flood it again? So about the budget.
Пожартувати, мене завжди звуть туди.
So they always call me to come somewhere where there is no money and no art, but everything is good after this. So I believe that we will come there and there will be a wave of change after this. And we have Hennadiy Chyzhykov from the Chamber of Commerce, and we work on this. And this is a difficult issue in our difficult economic conditions. It is difficult to find money, but we have Kaniv, we have infrastructure that is created there. And of course, we have to collect about $300,000 at least, because we start and we have a lot of rich people. And I want to say that here we have a representative of diaspora of bikers. And why does Kaniv have this wonderful potential? Because there are many people around the world who are the representatives of Ukrainian diaspora, and they are children and grandchildren of those people who left. And I believe that all of them, they know Kaniv, they know Shevchenko, and maybe they want to come in Kaniv if we create conditions, the logistics, the infrastructure, hotels for them to stay for several days. And I believe that this is powerful cultural contribution, and local community can count on this. So a bright example of cultural pilgrimage. Ashot, we would like to give the floor to you. He represents bikers diaspora, and for 16 years they came there. So this is written on the back of my coat. So for 16 years ago, we traveled there for the first time, and we've met on Taras Hill. And you've mentioned two problems: roads and no place to stay. So we go there by road, and it's okay, but we do not have where to live there. And we went to Cherkasy, and as Roman Balayan said, if it happens only in 100 years, they will build hotels there. So maybe we will go to back to Kaniv from Cherkasy. So 10,000 bikers traditionally come to Kaniv and go up to Taras Hill. Yes, and no one brought more people than I did. So these are not competitors. We are together. We invite everyone there. So I'm a modest person, and we wish everyone success. I would like to support this. There's no place to stay, but we can provide tents and sleeping bags, maybe. Do you remember jazz festivals in the United States? All the jazz film, all the Americans were sleeping in sleeping bags and tents, sleeping rough. So if we provide these bags, not them, and tents, but we need money for this. It's great when someone comes and you say, how many bags do you need? And what about the bags? Maybe we should collect them back with money in it. So on the 2nd of July we will be in Kaniv, and we invite everyone to join us to go up Taras Hill, and we will be glad to if you join us. Once again, I would like to sum up and invite everyone to join our initiative, to support us, and to communicate to communities, to potential partners. And we work 16, 18 hours a day in order to implement this project. We communicate with the world, and we hope that people will come, and in a month and a half we will have another press conference, and we will tell you about the guests from all around the world who plan to come to Humanitarian Economic Forum, Ukrainian ID. This will be renowned guests, and these visits, they will have great economic and humanitarian consequences for the country. We wish success, and till the next time, goodbye.
Меморандум